session. Let's have a moment's silence while we reflect on the concept of love. So a very warm welcome to you all. Good evening. And it gives me a great deal of pleasure to introduce you to fellow editor of NAMAH, Dr. Debabrata Sahani. He's an ophthalmologist by background, and he practices in Odisha. He's clearly a very dynamic individual. He's a surgeon, entrepreneur, philanthropist, and life coach. He runs 2 hospitals, a non-profit company, and leads a project for the inner transformation of youth. As I said, he's an editor of NAMAH and a long-standing member of our institute, SAIIHR, S-A-I-I-I-H-R, the Sri Aurobindo International Institute for International Integral Health and Research. He's a practical and pragmatic individual with a very sharp mind, and embodies a simple, intense faith and devotion in the divine. Like a lot of people from his home state, Orissa. It's a beautiful combination. For the last 30 years, he's been working to integrate higher spiritual principles into the day-to-day lives of common people. So I'm really looking forward to this session. He's going to be speaking about opening to divine love. I hope you all enjoy it. Over to you, Debu.
Mira Saranam Mama, Sri Aurobindo Saranam Mama. I bow down to the Supreme Presence in your heart. Namaskar to you all. So today is the last day, and you have all, since last 4 or 5 days, were immersed in the concept of divine love, and all the wonderful speakers. I have already seen the deliberations also. So actually there is nothing much to say, you already know everything, but being the last day, so now it's time to depart, it's time to move. So unless we do something, unless we experience something in our day-to-day life, then this entire process will not bear fruit. So I'll straightway go into the practical dimension. So at the last day, it is opening to the divine love. So I will request you, all of you, to be with me for next 40 minutes. Then we can discuss. And I'll be taking small pauses of few seconds for you to reflect. Because we'll be doing it together. This journey we'll be traveling together. So I expect all of us are together right now and holding each other's hand, we'll move together. So to start this journey. Yeah, you can keep your audios mute. So before this opening to divine love, the first question I'll ask myself is, why should I open to divine love? Why? What is the necessity for me? Why should I search for divine love? Why should I open for divine love? If this why is not intense, if I don't have a reason, then this entire knowledge won't be utilized by me. If I have a strong reason, if I have a strong cause, this is the reason I want to open up myself, this is the reason I want to move into that dimension, then only something is going to happen. So do I have a reason? I have to ask myself. Am I in search for that? So I will open up to divine love only when I'll feel that inadequacy in human love. And this inadequacy of human love, whatever is in my experience, this has to be very intense, it has to be very deep. So in a way we can say, when all human relationship fails, then only the relationship with divine truly emerges. Otherwise our mind still searches for something. The common story of everyone, every individual from childhood. We started searching for love in our parents, then our friends, then we search for a life partner, then in our children, and then in society, in our work, in so many areas, in so many relationships. We kept on trying, maybe this one will work out, maybe this one will work out. So if somebody feels, yes, things are fine, the relationship, the experience of love is adequate for him, then there is no sufficient reason for this search, this opening for divine love. See, how much is this dissatisfaction? How much is this inadequacy? How much is this failure? How much is this agony? No, whatever I am searching, I am not getting. I am searching for something else. I am searching for something more. So this failure may be the beginning of a new story. If the relationship has failed, it is not necessarily a broken relationship, but definitely the goals are not met. This must be the experience. All the relationships, all the human relationships, whatever they provide me, whatever I experience from my relationships, they don't quench my thirst. They don't satisfy me completely. And I am convinced that if I make one more trial with the same pattern with human beings, I am going to fail. That much conviction should be there. From where this conviction comes? From experience. So unless a person has tried thoroughly, many times, in many dimensions, this opening to divine love really doesn't take off. It all becomes theory, nice reading, nice listening, nothing works out. Only when there is agony, only when there is anguish, only when there is a sense of inadequacy, and maybe a sense of suffocation, maybe a sense of frustration. It need not be always very negative. It can be negative as well. This negative can really help us to jump to the highest plane. But it can be just an inadequacy, just a sense of insufficiency. This is not all, this is not all, this is not all. So that sense, unless it comes, I don't think I can move towards divine love. All human relationships. So what should be my experience? What I experience? Why I am searching for divine love? My human relationships are fine, they are stable, they are good. But they are inadequate. Inadequate in what? Inadequate towards my need. Towards my need. Whatever I need, I am not getting it completely. And the sooner I realize that there is no such human being who can fulfill myself entirely, the better it is. If I am still in search of a human being who can fulfill me completely, then the time for divine love is not there. It has not yet arrived. I have to still travel. Because I am still searching for a perfect human being who is not there. So that journey must come to an end. So that is my first criteria, whether I am searching for divine love, my search for divine love, my opening for divine love is really sincere or not. Am I sincerely looking towards opening to divine love? Otherwise it doesn't happen. All discussions how to do it doesn't work out. That why? Why should I search? That reason, that intensity should be there. So taking that further, it simply says, am I qualified? Am I ready to open myself to divine love? Theoretically, everybody is ready. Theoretically, everyone should open up at any time. But doesn't work out. Doesn't work out. Everybody doesn't open up always. After many painful episodes of life, the mind agrees only God is true. All other relationships are inadequate. Momentarily we can say all other relationships are false, but I won't say they are false. They have their own place. They have their own necessity, but they are inadequate. They don't fulfill us completely. To complete our story, divine is essential. Divine is our completion. So that sense of inadequacy should be there, and that sense of inadequacy comes only when you have everything. So with all due respect, I will say that if one has not experienced human love completely, if it is a failure of human love, then you cannot straightway go to divine. So some experience, some success of human love, it really makes you qualified. You are successful. Human relationship, you have successful human relationship. You have stable human relationship. You have good, fulfilling human relationship. Beyond that, the true aspiration happens. When you are frustrated with human relationships, actually we are just searching for a replica, for an alternative. And divine is another human being for us. We wanted something human. It didn't come to us. We are frustrated. So now I want the same flavor from the divine. Most of the time it fails. Most of the time it fails, doesn't work out. Because the human things doesn't replicate here. The human things doesn't replicate here. So the basic qualification will be many stable relationships. And before I go further, with folded hands, I say that you don't have to agree with me. You don't have to agree with anything what I say. But whatever comes through me right now, I won't say I am saying, things are coming through me. Few things may be useful for you. Whatever is useful for you, just keep it and just throw away the rest of the things. So it is not like the sour grapes. I didn't get the grapes, so the grapes are sour. I didn't get the human love. All the human relationships are broken. All the human relationships are ending in frustration and failure. Therefore, I need divine love. Doesn't work out. It won't. Let me tell you, it won't. So unless we get positive vibe, positive atmosphere, I have got plenty of human relationshiip, I've got plenty of human love, but still I am not fulfilled. That is the true base, that the true preparation, that yes, now the real opening for divine love can happen. So you should keep this point in mind. This is the, I will say this is the basic qualification. Unless one has really succeeded in human relationships, we cannot really move to divine relationship fully. But it is not a, whatever we say, it is not absolute. Whatever I say, that is not an absolute statement. But most of the time it is not out of frustration. I feel spirituality doesn't come out of frustration. Spiritual process comes out of fulfillment. You have got everything. You got everything from the material life, yet you are not fulfilled. Yet you are not fulfilled. Or at least you are capable of getting everything from the material life. Truly, sincerely. You are not lying to yourself. And still you are not fulfilled. Then you are really qualified to move towards divine love. So if this is the case, if I have good relationships, stable relationships, all my relationships are fine, but they are not fulfilling. They are good, they are stable, but they are inadequate. Why? Because human beings are inadequate. Human beings are inadequate. So the completion is not there. That fulfillment is not there in relationship. So therefore I am searching for something more, something vast, something big. Maybe that is the search for infinite, which is there, innate within us. So the finite things do not satisfy us. We search for infinite. And in that search for infinite, we try to create a mimicry by recreating again and again similar patterns of relationship. So it doesn't really work out. So with this background, I'll move to the next step. Now, I have to open myself to divine love. So what should I do? How should I go about? For that, what I'll do, see, I'll say what I will do. You will do or not, you pick up. As I have told you, whatever you agree, you can keep it. But if you don't agree, just throw it out. So first what I'll do, I will scan all my relationships. So first I will ask a question to myself, whom do I love? I'll make a list of persons where I can say, I love them, I love this person, I love that person, I love this person, I love that person. At least, definitely we are not in touch. You cannot do it with your Facebook or Instagram followers. You have a handful of people whom you can truly say that I love this person, I love that person. So I'll make a list of the person, my ego sense, my me sense. When I say that yes, I love this person, I love this person, I love this person. Nothing theoretical like I love everybody in the world. It is not like that. I love this person, very individual. So I will make a list because I want a concrete experience. I have to make a concrete start. I will make a concrete experience. So I have a list now. I have a list of persons whom I say at least, they may not feel it, but I say that I love them. I love this, I love them, I love them, I love them. So my list is ready. You will prepare your list or not, you know. I have prepared my list. Now that my next step is, first step is preparation of the list. Now I am moving how to open to divine love. How to go about it. Because I will start from near to far. Whatever I have, I will start from there. I have human beings with me, so I will start with human and move towards divine. I cannot straightway jump to divine. So I am in a human frame, I am dealing with human beings, and I am experiencing human things. From that experience, I will gradually make an effort to climb towards higher planes. So now I have a list ready of individuals whom I say that I love them. Now I will classify that. I will classify grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. What is grade 1, grade 2, grade 3? Grade 3 is animal love. Grade 3 is animal love. Grade 2 is human love. Grade 1 is divine love. I am going through mentally. Obviously things are not absolute, but I have to give a working formula. If I have to do something, I need a formula to start with. Then you can devise your own ways. Till you reach the absolute plane, you need some kind of props, you need some kind of help, you need some kind of formula. Just use it and then throw it once its utility is over. So I'll classify all my relationships. I'll classify all my relationships because then only I'll understand how to open to divine love. So first is grade 3, animal love. So what is the criteria when I say this love, my love for that person is animalistic. If in that it is a table in a tabular form, you can do this. So in first table, name of the person. The second 2 columns, there are 3 columns. The first column, name of the person. The second column, the heading will be give. The third column, the heading will be take. So for every person, I have to tick. So if a relationship, I have nothing to give, I have everything to take. I want things. I love him because he gives. Do I give something? Do I have a need to give? Do I feel like giving? Have I any intention to give anything? I have to be very true with myself. To be very true to myself. There are many relationships in life where I just don't give anything. But I have huge expectations. I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. It's take and take. Take and take. This is animal love. I want to take. I want to appropriate. I want to assimilate. I want everything for myself. What about me? Am I giving anything in return? No. That is not necessary. Why should I give? He has to give me. She has to give me. I have nothing to give. This is the relation. She has to give me or he has to give me. Only they have to give. I have to take. Take and take. take and take. Be very honest. If I am not giving anything, it is an animal relation. If I am not giving anything, it is an animal relation. Or the proportion, I am taking 70%, giving 30%. So it is 70% animal and 30% human. So as I go to the next level, level 2, the human love. Human love is give and take, struggling for a balance. He has given me this much, I have to give this much. He has given me this much, I am taking this much, I have to give this much. So I have a sense of indebtedness. No, he has given to me, she has given to me, I must return back. I must return back. Why should I return? Because I have accepted. Return back. The basis of the relation, grade 2 relation is returning back. Returning back. But this is very sincere. I am very sincere. This is the highest kind of human love. A balance between give and take. Whatever a person gives me, I reciprocate. Whatever I take, I give back. Very honestly, very sincerely. Anything has given me, anyone has given me anything, I remember it and make every effort to give it back if we are in a relationship. It can be small material things to emotional things to social things, anything. So if it is a balance between give and take, then it is grade 2, it is human love. If this is in plenty, if this you have achieved in plenty, if this I have achieved in plenty, I won't talk about you, I'll talk only about myself. If I have achieved this in plenty, this is the time I should search for the grade 1. So what is this grade 1 relationship? Give and give. Give and give. If I am only bothered, I have to give. I have to give. My only botheration is I have to give. What he has given to you doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. What can he give to me? I have to give. I have to give. I have to give. So if I am experiencing this, I'll classify this. This is my baseline for starting of divine love. This is my baseline. This is not the highest pinnacle, but this is my baseline. Where my intention is only to give, only to give, only to give. So experientially, love is the joy of giving oneself. Experientially, when you are giving something and feeling that joy, that is the crux of love. But normally, as I told you, the best human beings know is grade 2. Grade 2 is give and take. So what we experience as love is a transaction, a business. And if it is honest, we call it honest relationship. An honest relationship is whatever you have given to me, I have returned it back to you. Equally, if not more, at least equal. So I am honest with you. So relationship is honest. So this honest love is essentially an honest business. It's an honest transaction. So this human love is essentially a transaction. Animal love is exploitation. And divine love is self-giving. We can call it sacrifice, but it is a sacrifice of joy. It is a sacrifice of joy. It is, so the sacrifice in Indian context, we call it yajna, the fire sacrifice, the havi, the oblation, the brahmarpanam brahma havi, brahmagno brahmanasam. The oblation, it gives itself to the fire. An act of love, giving yourself completely. So these 3 categories once I have, now my job is how can I move more and more from grade 2 to grade 1. And if there are a lot of grade 3, then I am going to be hurt daily. If my relationships are full of grade 3 love, I have nothing to give but I have everything to take, then my story will be a very sad story, very pathetic story. Every day I'll say that I am hurt, I am hurt, I am hurt. He hurts me, she hurts me, he hurts me, she hurts me. So I have to classify. Then if I am full of this animal love, so this is high time for me to at least move them to grade 2. If I am expecting something, I should give that first and then expect. Now comes the problem. My mind says, I am giving so much. He is not giving me. She is not giving me. If she is not giving me, if he is not giving me back, why am I sticking to that? I am not getting what I want, yet I am sticking to that. That is attachment. That is attachment. So this is the basic difference between business and love. In business, if you are not getting the product for your price, you can leave the other person. In this love business, even if you don't get back, so they call you very stupid, you are not getting anything, yet you are sticking it, that is because of the attachment. That is because of the attachment. So this attachment thing comes here, the sticky part comes here. It has already become a part of yours, but you want to get. The raw thing is, you are not giving anything, yet you want something. Things are not happening, very rarely it happens. You are giving something, and you are not getting back. So again, your story is very pathetic. Your story is very pathetic, and the love story is very pathetic. I have given so much, I have sacrificed so much, and I didn't get back anything. So with this kind of relationship, how can you open to divine love? Cannot. Cannot. So, to make grade 2 the stable, the ground, I'll use the mind, not the emotion, the thoughts, the reason. So once I have classified my relationships, I'll try to move into grade 2. Why grade 2? I'll just stick to the relations where I get. See, if I am most of the time where I get my pain from the relationships where I don't get. Yeah, I'm expecting but not getting. I'm expecting and not getting. Therefore, I'm getting pain. But how do I reduce my expectation? I'll give you the key. Where it is written in the book. Take my recipe. How to reduce expectation? I have expectation because I am giving. Whenever I give something to you, I have some expectation from you. If I stop giving, my expectation will reduce. So the rule is, if you want to reduce expectation, stop giving to that person. In a relationship, if you want to create balance, the person who are giving you more, you give them more. The person who are giving you less, you give them less. Most of the people don't do that. Therefore, they call it blind love. It's the Dhritarashtrian love. In Mahabharata, we have a character of Dhritarashtra who was blind, and he was blind everywhere. You are blind in love means you are not using your friends. If you are not getting, see, there is nothing love in it. They are all transactions. In human beings, love has not yet manifested. It is background. It is pushing from behind. What we are doing in front is a transaction between two egos, a transaction of vital force, a transaction of material needs, emotional needs, and physical needs. So this transaction has to be done well. That is the basic background. So from wherever, so now I have to classify my relationships. If my expectations are not fulfilled, so what should I do? I should reduce giving. Whatever I give, my attention, my care, my support, whatever I am giving, I should reduce it. And how to reduce it? By not paying much attention to them. And how do I do that? By paying attention to something else, someone else. So I have to divert my attention. So this stupid relationship has to reduce first. Because most of the time the human beings complain that I gave so much, I didn't get anything in return. With this kind of relationship, nothing divine is going to happen. To make something divine, at least a stable background has to be there, a stable give and take has to be there. From there we can move towards relationships where give and give we have to practice. So this is the basic qualification, this is the basic background from which we can move towards the next step. So now, I'll go to the grade 1. How do I practice grade 1? Now my job is to opening to the divine love. So, to practically how do I do it? So, two things I'll take. One is attitude, one is activity. How do I do in the answer to how? One is attitude, one is activity. So first thing I'll take up activity. Then I'll come to the attitude. Purely activity. What I have to do? So if I have to do something, what is the single most important activity which will directly connect me to love? In love, which activity happens? I have just told it. It is giving. It is giving. So giving, when we give something, the better word is serve. Love means service. Love means service. You are giving something. What are you giving? Whatever you have. Whatever you have. You want to give. You want to give. You want to serve. Serve is a beautiful word. Instead of giving, I will call it serving. Let us serve. If you know service, then you can open to divine love. So the door to divine love is service. If you know how to serve, then you can open up to divine love. The many bhakti schools, the devotional schools, they identify themselves as dasa, as the servant of divine. They say that I'm the servant of the servant of the servant of the divine. Dasanu, dasanu, das. So I want to serve. So the activities, service. The activities, service. If more and more service comes in your life, you are opening to divine love more and more. So where do I practice this? And what is the problem in this service? The problem with this service or any human activity is selfish service. Once I serve, I want something in return. So it becomes again give and take. It goes to grade 2, doesn't become grade 1. Grade 1 is divine love, give and give. So how do I do that? So for that, I'll just look around. I'll look around, how do I practice it? So I'll give you the safe avenues where you can practice it very easily. But it won't give you the pinnacle of experience, but it can be used as a starting point. Where you can practice, where I can practice give and give. Where I can practice give and give. So where do I start? The best way to start is with plants. With plants. If plants, I want to serve plants. And if I give my attention to plants and especially flowering plants, so mother loved these flowers very much. The plants flower. Fruit, why not fruit plants? Because again I have to sell the fruits and get some money. Nowadays I can sell the flowers also and get some money. So plants essentially, but flowering plants maybe it will be better. So I want to build my relationship. I want to open up to divine love. So I'll start this affair, my love affair, divine love affair, with plants first. So plants and flowers, it will really give and give and give. They give back in return. You look at a beautiful flower coming up, the leaves coming up, the greenery. You water your plant and the plant is growing. Gradually you feel that you have a deep bond, you have a deep relationship, you are in love. In fact, again the attachment comes up. If you have not seen your plants, you will feel that restlessness. Exactly the way human relationship happens. You will miss your garden, you will miss your plants. I have not seen my plants. You will remember who will water my plants, who will water my flowering herbs. So again an affair starts. But this is a relationship, beginning of give and give. You can experience something divine with plants. The next step, animals. The next step is animals. You can do with pets, but in Indian context, we did a lot of work with cows. Cows, if you spend time with them, to serve cows, something deep happens, something deep within happens. The Indian cows. Why the Indian cows? Why I stick to the Indian cows? You can very distinctly different. You can smell the features of Indian cow, the cow dung, and the non-Indian cow, the Jerseys and the Holsteins. You can clearly see the difference. The cow dung of the Indian cows, it doesn't smell you bad. It is a different species by itself. So the experiment was done on that in Indian context, but you can do it any animal. I'm not against any animal. You can do it your dogs and cats, but I will stick to cows. I'll stick to my things only. You can stick to your things. I will stick to cows. So cows, because that is, if you see me behind, Krishna is there behind, and he was very fond of cows, and he gave that rule. If you want to experience that love, you can do it with cows. So animals and plants, if you serve them, it is a give and give relationship. The more you give, that joy of giving you can experience, and your expectations will be kept at minimum very naturally. With plants and animals, your experience will be at minimum very naturally. So from plants and animals, if you want to move, I'll move in two directions towards divine love. It is better to bypass the humans. The humans are the most difficult. I'll come to the humans. So another element it was brought in to practice divine love. It was the idol of a deity, idol worship. You have a murti, you have an idol. And you take it as a living human being. You take it as a living human being. And in Indian context, many bhakti schools, they say that a detailed worship of the deity. So the deity, it has to eat, it has to sleep, it has to take bath. So a mosquito net has to be there, water for bath has to be there, dress has to be changed every day. So in bhakti schools, in devotional schools, are deeply engaged with the deity, very deeply engaged with the deity. And the deity won't scold you back, the idol won't scold you, it will always smile, it won't say anything to you, and you can say anything to him. So the opening to the divine love with the deity, it has really worked wonders in many. And in my land, in Odisha, it is very rampant with the culture of Jagannath and the culture of Sri Chaitanya and Bhakti schools since last 1,000 years. So very deeply rooted this talking to the deity, talking to the deity, talking to the divine in the deity, and have a very personal relationship. I've seen many people who are very worried that my God has not eaten today, I have come back now, I have logged in, who will give him food? He has to eat. Some prasad has to be given to him. How come to the evening oblations are not there, nobody has given him prasad? Very tangible relationship. So plants, animals and deity can really experience something. I'm talking about experience. Before moving to human beings, I'll come to another part. To experience this divine love, you can take up inanimate things. You can take material things. You can love material things. You can love your chair, you can love your sofa, you can love your bedroom, you can love your dress. Practicing love. How do I practice love? By order and beauty. If you arrange everything orderly, if you try to beautify with the material things, you experience a sense of love. It's definitely not the relationship kind of thing, but we do get attached to all material things. People get attached to their cars, to their dresses, to their pen, to their mobile, to their TV, to their house. All attachment, all love happens everywhere. And everything actually consciousness. It's not that they don't have life. They have their own life, they have their own consciousness. So with inanimate things, again the practice is very safe. If you move towards beauty, because beauty goes hand in hand with love. So beautifying things, arranging things beautifully. On one dimension I gave you plants, animals, then the deity, then all the inanimate things to keep them beautifully. All the inanimate things, why I love my things. So what should I do? I keep them in order, I keep them in proper place, I take care of them, and I arrange them beautifully. If you can experience beauty in the material things, beauty and order will go in hand. Beauty and harmony will go hand in hand. So again, that love, it will start manifesting. You will experience something with all these things. Experience that state that you are giving something. Gradually, mother used to say, you take care of every small toys, you take care of your pen, you take care of your dresses. You can really touch them and feel them, they will speak to you. And you will take care of the minutest details, small things. Experiencing love, relationship. Relationship is not just with human beings, it is all encompassing. Everywhere we can experience it. Very small things. I do with my books. I love my books. So I keep on arranging them, and my shelf is my favorite place, my book shelf. So my affair is a lot with my books. So you can just see, if you see, you love something, you look at it and feel very happy. So I look at my book shelf and I feel very happy. So that's how it is. And you can extend it to nature. Looking at the sky, looking at the moon. If you have the sea, you can look at the sea. If you have the mountains, you can look at the mountains. And just look at them. Just looking at them. They are already in order. They are already in harmony. You will experience something. So with this background, I will come to the most difficult thing. The most difficult thing is human being. So how do I practice this grade 1 kind of relationship, divine love in human beings? Very difficult. So always again the key word is serve. So to serve, I need someone who needs service. So people choose material service, and the very common thing was serve the sick people. Serving the sick people, it gives a lot of joy. In this COVID times, I have seen many people, they are providing food to COVID patients, providing oxygen to COVID patients, providing many assistance to COVID patients. And they get a lot of joy. And when you need another kind, in calamities, in floods, in cyclones, I'm in a land of cyclone. So, but You really need somebody to be miserable to experience this love. Somebody is miserable, you are serving, and you are experiencing that joy. It is needed, but it is pathetic. You need a miserable person to experience that. Then the next comes old people, helpless people. So earlier in our tradition, people used to serve their parents, their grandparents, old people. Now old age home has come up. People used to get a lot of joy in serving the essentially the helpless old people in family. That was there. Now it is not there very much. It can be done. It can be done. You go to essentially helpless people by aging or by disease. So it is a negative element. A positive element can come with human beings if I am experimenting. I'll focus again on my favorite is children. If I can serve children, the children are not miserable. How do I serve them? I serve them by making them more happy. The children have to be happy. So if I can spend time with children, and by stories, by songs, by plays, if I can make them happy, that is my service. And I experience that love, that joy of giving, and a human relationship. A human relationship. And I will end my human relationship there with children. I will not go further. One step can be there if you become a teacher. One more relationship between a teacher and a student is a very bad word. I'll use between guru and the shishya, between the preceptor and the disciple, where the teacher wants the disciple to grow, to move up. Therefore he wants to give, he wants to help. There also you can experience this. So if you can get people who are willing to learn from you, you should be grateful to them, because you have got an opportunity to give. So every time you have an opportunity to give, it is a wonderful opportunity to open to divine love. And what exactly I am talking to you, it is essentially selfless giving. It is essentially selfless giving. So this is about the activity. The activity is service. The activity is service. And before that I called it the attitude. To open up to divine love, you need activity and attitude. Activity is service. Attitude is gratitude. The attitude is gratitude. If you can develop that feeling of gratitude, once you develop that feeling of gratitude to anybody, to anyone, you have done a lot for me just with this feeling. You have done a lot for me. With this feeling, you just start looking at people. You can look at inanimate things also. You can look at the sky, you can look at the sun, you can look at human beings. Just with this, you have done a lot for me with folded hands. How much you have done for me? You have done a lot for me. If you can just fold your hands in gratitude and look at people, you'll experience that opening to divine love. Your experience is opening to divine love. So this attitude of gratitude is extremely important if you want to experience it in day-to-day life. So these are the two parts, attitude and activity, I told you. Before we conclude and we go to the question and answer topic, so what will be the experience of divine love? The baseline, how do you testify that yes, you have opened to divine love? The number one thing will be self-forgetfulness. You are not bothered about yourself. You are not bothered what is going to happen to me. You are not bothered what am I going to get out of this. You are simply not bothered. Self-forgetfulness. If that is what you are experiencing, you have opened up. You have started the journey. The second thing is joy of giving yourself. Joy of giving yourself. Now, always when I say giving, what to give? Always people think in terms of money. You have to give money, you have to give matter. No. You have many more things to give. Money is the last. But the most important thing to give, if you want to give somebody, the most important thing to give is time. If you are giving time to somebody, you are spending time judiciously and spending time with somebody, you have given the best gift. Because that is the most precious thing. Time is life. You have given your life. So if you are giving your time with love, you are giving your time. In that time, what do? Just listen to them. In that time, you just listen to them. Listen to what? Their problems, their thoughts. their feelings. Just listen to them. Be receptive to them. Just listen to them. We want to practice love, practice the art of giving. Give time. Listen to their needs. Identify with them, identify with their journey, and try to work with them in solving their problems. Listen to them. So if you are giving time, you are really giving the best thing. And beyond that, what you can give? You can give emotions, you can give care, you can give your feelings, you can give your respect, you can give few sweet words. And if you are knowledgeable, if you are really something to offer, you can give that as well. But knowledge doesn't make much difference because everybody knows everything. Everybody knows everything. Very few people are there who say that I don't know and please tell me this. Most of the time people say that I know. So what they need is essentially somebody should listen to them. Somebody should agree to them. Somebody should empathize with them. That is a huge service. Nowhere it is written, nowhere it is recognized. Service is always how big a checkbook you have signed, how much material help you have offered. No, that is a very lower kind of service. If I want to experience divine love, if I am giving time, then I am giving myself. If I am giving time, I am giving myself. Now I am giving time means I am giving myself. This is my act of love. So this giving and this giving becomes selfless when you don't expect anything in return. Therefore, it is very, very difficult to practice it with family and friends. It is extremely difficult to practice divine love with family and friends because subconsciously we have always a lot of expectations. Because we are so intermingled. So it should be the last area. So my suggestion is, in family and friend, we should be grade 2, sincere grade 2. Whatever they are giving, that much I should give. I must reciprocate. I should not ignore any relationship. If my friend is saying happy birthday, I have to say happy birthday, though I don't mean it, but I have to say it because he is saying happy birthday to me. So it is a balance. That much I'll do with my friends and family. But this selfless love, I'll try to go beyond my family. So if you want to do it with human beings, my proposal is to do it with children and children who are unknown to you. Children who are not your relatives. Children who are not your friend circle. So go a little bit beyond who are unknown to you. You have to move out to unknown people. With unknown people, if you start serving, then you can experience this divine love more and more. And I won't make it very mystical. I won't make it very mysterious. It is very plain and simple. If divine love touches you, the first thing is self-forgetfulness. Second is the joyful giving. These two, if you are experiencing, you are into the journey. And once you have stepped into the path, then things will open up step by step, step by step, step by step. Then the identity comes, the union comes, the universalization comes. They come later. They come later. But the first thing is the sense of self-forgetfulness. I don't bother what I am going to get. I want to give and I am very happy by giving. This is the gist. I want to give and I am very happy. While giving, I am very happy. Just because I gave, I am very happy. Whatever. You can give a smile and be very happy. You can just say namaste and be very happy. You can give a little time and listen to somebody and be very happy. So, I just try to practice it with my patients. I know that it is not necessary to listen to them, but I just give 2 more minutes and I want to listen to their story. So, I feel that experience, yes. It was not a part of my job. The disease part is over, but I want to listen to whatever they have then in their mind. So just give a little bit more time, little bit more empathy, little to their problems. So you can just do it anywhere. So this should not be a part of your friend and family. In friend and family, it becomes very sticky and very difficult. So my recipe is to spend as little time with friend and family. Just reciprocate what is necessary. To spend more time with plants, more time with animals, more time with children, and more time with people who want to learn from you. And if you have still more time, you should spend with yourself. Spend time with your body, spend time with your mind. So you serve your body, make it a proper instrument, clean your mind, make it a proper channel, and give attention to yourself. There also you can experience divine love. Because in Indian spiritual context, it is said that the Divine Mother, she guards all the organs, all the physical organs. We have a Devi Kavach, where Devi, the Divine Mother, she sits and guards and takes care, protects the eyes, the lips, the teeth, the nails, the chest, the throat. For everything there is a deity. So you can just look at this and feel grateful. See, Mother, you are just maintaining this body. You can see divine. And the last part comes when you are really quiet, you are really silent, and you just look at anything, and with folded hands, you just say, my Lord, you are here. If for a few seconds this state comes, just silently say, my Lord, you are here. You look at the sky and say, look at the wall and say, look at human beings. Any moment you can deeply say, my Lord, you are here. Mother, you are here. You can feel the presence. But to feel the presence, the mind has to be calm and focused. Automatically you start experiencing divineness. So these are the few practical things you can start and get that glimpse. And as I have told you in the beginning, you don't have to agree with me at all. Only thing is few things, maybe it will be useful, just put them into practice. But all that I wish and all that I pray is you should experience that self-forgetfulness. You should experience the joy of giving. These are the two things you must experience if you really want to know what exactly is divine. What exactly is divine. Then all theories, all philosophies, all knowledge, it comes secondary if you have the experience of these two things. And only 7 more minutes left. I have already taken 7 minutes extra. So now we are open to any question and answer. If you have any, if you don't have any, we can just sit silently and listen to James. Namaste.
Thank you, Debu. As practical as ever. Does anyone have any questions, please?
James, Rashmi Ranjan Mohanty from Mumbai.
Hi, Rashmi.
Here. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Am I audible?
Very much so.
This was really a fabulous lecture, actually. Fabulous. Really fabulous. Debabrata, namaskar. It's really wonderful. Because for me, like a householder, it's very difficult for me to to do all those loving the plants or animals. I may not find time to do all that. Okay, and I'm a family man. I have to spend much of my time at home and in office. So what should I do actually to really to attend to that sticky part? You told that it is a sticky part.
Yes, you have to make it great too. You have to make it great too.
So how do I?
You have to really see how much you get. So proportionately don't give. The problem appears when you say that I am giving more but getting less. See, giving is in your control. Getting is not in your control. So first define who is giving you how much. A person who gives you more, you give him more. A person who gives you less, you give less. So control your giving. You cannot control getting. Whatever you get from others, that is their prerogative. So all the relationships, why we get hurt? Because we don't get what we want. And why we want that? Because we have given. So you should reduce the amount of attention you are giving to others if they are not reciprocating. Identify the relationships which hurt you. Identify the relationships which hurt you, and then start giving them less time, less attention, less thought, less money. That is the recipe.
It's very practical and very blunt, very blunt suggestions. Yeah.
It is great too. It is give and take. It is business. It is nothing less.
So just one point from my side. Maybe actually, if I can start building up my, putting more emotional or spiritual treasure inside me by, by turning myself completely to a divine while undertaking my duties in family without again expecting. But in that case also, I have to increase that spiritual balance. So if that is possible in a way.
Yes, I told you that. For that, there should be few moments. I gave you two ideas. One is attitude of gratitude. You just pick up somebody.
Absolutely.
You can really get that feeling. Just think of that person. If you just think of that person with folded hands, you'll get that feeling of love. Number one. Number two, with deep silence, you just look at the universe. Try to just say for once, my Lord, you are there. Just say that you are here. Just say to Lord, say to Divine, say to Mother, my Lord, you are here. To concretely say, God, you are here. Just say once, concretely, deeply, things will happen. Things will happen. Just say that you are here.
Yeah,
Most of us don't believe that God is here.
Yes.
So do it for
yes. That wonderful. This is a practical suggestion. Absolutely, this can be done. Thank you so much, Debabrata ji.
Thank you.
I am from Odisha also. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I understand that. Yeah, thank you.
Hello.
Thank you, James.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rashmi. Yes.
Hi, can I ask a question?
Yes, you have a question.
So I somehow feel that this is not in my nature to calculate what I am giving, because it doesn't matter to me. That's just it's not like I'm giving with an expectation to receive. It's just my nature to, if there is a close relationship, I like to, there's an outpouring. And it's an extension of who I am, and also it is also like, it's not in my hands. I mean, I am like that. I like to do things for people without expectation and not feel bad about, because I move on very quickly. So
you are already in grade 1, Meera. You are already in grade 1. You are already in give and give. You are already in divine love. There is nothing more to do. Just be there.
No,
just
but
carry
I mean, this thought is a little jarring for me, that, am I supposed to calculate in a relationship? Because I don't. And
only when you get hurt. That is only when you get hurt. Because you are getting hurt, already calculated. Without calculation, nobody can get hurt. Only when you calculate and you make a calculation that I have given more and I have received less, then only you get hurt. If you have not calculated, you will never get hurt, and you are already in grade 1, you are already into divine love. If you are already into giving mode, if you have already defined it, give and give. If you are only concerned with giving, and if your nature is to give and move on, then you are already in divine love. You don't have to calculate. Why should you go back? It is only for those who cannot move on to give and give, only those who are getting hurt every time and saying that I fell in love, therefore I got hurt. My recipe is only for them. Only when you are complaining that my love affair is not good, my relationship is not good, I am getting again and again, I am getting hurt. You are getting hurt means then you recalculate things, recalibrate things, make it balance. You are putting things at the wrong place. You are doing a wrong business. If you are not calculating, why should you go back? Why should you fall back in consciousness? It is from calculation to no calculation. It's from finite to infinite. You are already into infinite. You should just move on. You should just be a channel and just pour your love to anybody and everybody and just be happy about it. That's all.
Okay. Thank you. I mean, it's a beginning somewhere.
Yeah, no, you have already moved up.
I find your lessons very, I mean, your workshop very practical, as in, one can.
Yeah, therefore I asked James to keep me at the last. At least the practical things should be at the last.
No, I agree. His workshops are very practical here. Yeah. Does anyone else have any questions? Any more questions?
Thank you.
Okay, I don't think so. So thank you very much, Deborah. Wonderful session again. It's been a wonderful opportunity for me personally, this workshop, to introspect on my levels of attachment and the way the patterns of attachment emerge in my being. So it's been very fruitful for me, and I hope it's been very fruitful for everyone else, to look at love and to look at attachment. It's been very useful for me and hopefully for everyone else. So until the next event, we'll see you. Thank you very much for participating in Love and Attachment, and see you soon. Thank you, Deborah.
Thank you.
Namaste to you all. Namaskar.
Namaste.